What's up, y'all? Happy Whiskey Wednesday. It is not Tasty Tuesday, it's Whiskey Wednesday. And we got another live. I wanted to throw this together tonight because, well, I'm having a dram or two. And a box from Californee way has made its way here to the windy city of Chicago, Illinois. So I want to open it up with y'all because I have a feeling what's inside of it, considering the person that, ensured that it could find its way here. One Donner Pass Whisky, good friend of the show, Patreon supporter. If you are in the house, Donner, cheers. Was able to make this come this way. So we're gonna open it up, see what's inside of it, and taste one or two of them probably. Because why not? We have a huge snowstorm coming into Chicago. So, I'm not doing anything tonight. Why not have a couple drams again with folks? All right. So I'm going to say hi. We got a chat going on already, which is great. I see that there's 6 folks in already, which is very cool. Sorry, 5. I know this isn't not necessarily a time that I'm usually hopping on, but why not? It should be a lot of fun. Let's say hi to the folks who are in the chat already, and then we will check out these samples. And I got a couple things to share with folks of just things that have come up. I mentioned a few of them last night on the weekly Tasty Tuesday show, and we'll go from there. So what's up, y'all? First in the door tonight, it is Montreal, Quebec. Paul M. Hello, Mon. How are you? Good to see you, Paul. Mr. Gerbic is in the house. Long time no see. Yes. How are you, sir? How is Florida? Hey, there's the man of the hour, Donner Pass. Great timing. I get to watch the first hour before driving home from work. Oh, or driving to work. Oh, great. Okay, well, fantastic. I'm glad that we can do that. Keen Dreams is here, Detroit. Sorry, I missed Tuesday. Great to see another show tonight as I'm keen on a dram right now. Okay, well, fantastic. Good to hear. Gerbic's pouring some Port Charlotte 10. I just got today. Very exciting. Have you had this one? I have. Yes. I actually did a video a while back, kind of designed to be kind of a video for newer folks to Scotch whiskey, particularly people who are looking at peated whiskey. And it is tasting some of the Isla 10-year-old heavily peated whiskeys. So I did a kind of a 3-way tasting between the Port Charlotte 10, the Ardbeg 10, and the Lafroig 10. It was called like the 10 years old whiskey Isla Face Off. So you can check that out. But yes, Port Charlotte was part of that. Very good stuff. Yeah, I've been meaning to grab another bottle of that one of these days. So I'm a fan. I'm psychedelic this time. Come in rainbow. Look at the green lights. You all seem. Are you rapping? Why do I feel like I've heard that before? All right, Gorbic. You do you, brother. I have had that and am keen on it, Mr. Gerbic. PC is tasty from Brooklotti. Yes, it is tasty. Donner Pass is also a fan of the PC 10. That is rad. Yeah, good stuff across the board. London is in the house. No drams for our friend Donner Pass tonight, but we're going to drink some of his whiskey. Our good friend in London town. Solange, brother. Great to see you, sir. Great to see you. And Donner Pass got himself a box from the Quig. Lots of very cool Canadian whiskey you can't get outside the country. Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic, man. Very good stuff. quick box samples, you get some Canadian whiskeys for sure that you'll never find here in the States. It's a lot of fun. And actually, samples of an experiment I did a little. Oh, okay. Coates is in the house. What's up, man? Another good friend from Canada. Hey, Milkman's Kids here again, too. What's up, buddy? Good to see you. Long time no see. You're in London, James Morgan. Hello from Detroit. But next week, I'll be living in Buffalo, New York. Okay, Buffalo, New York. There you go. Still in Jupiter. Bookman says, big cold country. Hosers live here. Getting Lee and Alex Lifeson to do, but they may have hosers too. Prism Rush. So Milkman's Kid is also joining us from Canada. We got a healthy Canadian crew in here tonight, which is awesome, man. What's up? I'm going to guess Canada. Alberta, Canada, says James Morgan. Hey, Southern California, LA, City of Angels, Super Bowl City. Cohen, greetings, Muser, and the Malt Mongrels. Launch, brother. Good to see you again. Hey, Texas is here too. Jupiter Lane, how are you? Juniper Lane. Sorry, I said Jupiter. I was thinking about Gerbick's hometown. Great to see you, Juniper. Hope everything is well with you down in Tejas. Again, I want to thank you for the Patreon support, by the way. I saw that you joined. That's very cool. Hopefully you're not getting too many emails. And I did see your message about a request for a video. I'm going to look at doing that relatively soon. I'm going to think about how I can put that together. So appreciate that. Again, thank you so much. Big parade today for the Rams. They were drunk smoking cigars. Good deal. David Hong's in the house. What up, David? Hello from New York City. Back at you from Chicago, Illinois. Good to see you. India's in the house. Mahir. What up, buddy? You are in Mumbai these days. Am I correct? Good to see you, man. Awesome. Beaming the signal from Phoenix in the Sun Valley, the Southwestern Desert. It's Leo. What up, Leo? Great to see you, Leo, man. Hope everything is good. It's been a while. Folks saying hi to each other. And Juniper, you are too kind. Thank you. $20 super chat from Juniper. That is a great way to get this live stream started. Thank you so very much. Appreciate your generosity as always. Great to have you in the house, and look forward to doing the show tonight. So appreciate you. I raise the glass again. Hope everything is good for you down in Texas. Cohen, Ralphie reviewed Port Charlotte on Monday, and now the price will fly up because he gave it a 90 like he should have. Oh, yeah. He did the 10. Okay. Port Charlotte 10. I would like to get it someday. I haven't had it. It's a good one. Definitely a good one. Like I said, I do have a video, and it is kind of designed for folks who are just getting into Isla Scotches. You know, those 10-year-old Islas, Ardbeg, Lefroy, Port Charlotte, three-way kind of face-off. I could dig that video up somewhere. But yeah, check it out. I don't dislike any of them, really. People saying hi to each other. Hope you were well at Donner Pass. Yeah, Donner Pass is the star of the show tonight. Ooh, did you see Ardmore's peated? I have never had an Ardmore. I really need to try that out. Yes, it is. It's good stuff. Okay, y'all. So, here we go. A box has arrived here at the Malt Den in Chicago. It has come from California, or if you're a South Park fan, out Californee way. I don't know what's in it. Well, I think I might know what's in it. I don't know what exactly is in it, but I think I know what's in it. So, without further ado, we got 10 folks in, which is awesome for a Wednesday. This is not my normal time, so I appreciate it. I am going to go ahead and open this up and see what is in here. This has arrived courtesy of our good friend, Donner Pass Whiskey. Thank you very much, sir. Again, we've swapped samples a couple times over the last year. I do appreciate your Patreon support also, Donner Pass. And so I'm very excited to see what you have sent me this time. and I will be reciprocating, of course. All right, let's see what we got going here. Well, he knows how to make sure the bottles are in good shape. Okay, all right. Hey, we got like 6 bottles in here. Let's take a peek. These are some generous samples. Nice quick-sized drams. Okay, so 1220 blend number 11 PX mini barrel finish. Okay, so our friend here, Donner Pass, has been aging some whiskeys in some mini barrels, I think. The one I just pulled out here is called blend number 11. Here I have a Cadenhead's Deanston 10 56.2 bourbon hogsheads. This was number 2 in the mini barrel. Okay, so Donner Pass was taking some of our good whiskeys, friends, and putting them into a PX barrel himself, it looks like. Oh, yeah, okay. He sent me some info. Should I be doing this blind, sir? Or should I drink them the way they are? Let me know in the chat before I read that. We got another one here. This was the first one, Cadenhead's Tomatin 10 from the PX mini barrel. It was in there for 47 hours. Wow, this is cool, man. I will, I'll share the deets. He says no. Okay, great. Okay, don't need to do them blind. So let's reveal what these whiskeys are. It looks like we got 5 or 6 of them in here, which is awesome. Old Particular Kalila 8, 58.7 in the PX. This was the 4th one in. Oh, yeah. Love me a nice, sprightly Kalila. And we have another. Ooh, look at the color on this. Edgerdur from Signatory, 9 years old. First fill Marsala. Man. All right. Hey, this is great, dude. Thank you so very much. Okay. We're definitely going to try 1, if not 2 of these. So let me just share with y'all what he has sent me here. PX Mini Barrel Project. Wow, this is cool. After preparing the barrel with hot water to get it sealed, I filled it with Alvear 1927 Solera Pedro Jimenez Sherry. Since this is not something you do every day, I splurged and got a very good sherry that scored in the high 90s on a lot of wine review sites. $28 for a half bottle. The sherry was in the barrel for 58 days, and when I drained it into the bottles, it was still very good. Comparing it to stuff in the barrel, it had lost a bit of its brightness, but not more of an aged character like a port. My wife enjoyed it as much, which is cool. The videos that Jeremy's at Sipper Social Club made about doing this were very helpful and actually were the inspiration for the experiment. Would suggest wanting to try this. Would suggest anyone wanting to try this to watch it. That's so cool. Time to put it in whiskey. Each one was in for a different length of time, as each use of the barrel diminishes its ability to color and flavor. That makes total sense. Bottle 1 was 37 hours until it had to sit back in the bottle for almost a year to integrate. It was really over the top and sickly sweet. Bottle 2 was 2.5 days. I think part of that was because the bottle had settled into the barrel's sweet spot. Jeremy's method was to do the same. Bottle 3 was the first peated and the one and only the blend I made myself. I made this blend intentionally for the experiment, and it was a bottle for 6 months, or in the bottle for 6 months to integrate into the whole thing. Included a page with the blend recipe. Think it was in the barrel 3 or 4 days. Bottle 4 was in for 5 days, I think. Came out great, and possibly my favorite, with number 2 being second. Put in the Edgerdur to fill the box because the last samples you sent me had an Edgerdur from a Madeira cask I had recently opened. This Marsala cask, so I thought you would enjoy trying it. Definitely the most of what I call Edgerdur funk that I've experienced. I hope you enjoy these, Eric. Donner Pass Whisky. My man. That is wicked cool, dude. I really appreciate this. This is, man, wow. So exciting. Okay, so to go to the one that he mentioned in particular that was his own blend, which we are definitely tasting tonight, by the way. Here it is. Okay, so it's called blend number 11. This is what was in this blend. So for the PX finish, it was mixed June 29th of 2020. 4 ounces of Kilkerran 8 cast strength peated, 4 ounces Ardmore 10, near cast strength peated, 58.9%. 4 ounces of Old Particular Fetter Karen 14, 46.9. 4 ounces of Balmacan another Old Particular bottling, 11-year-old, 59.3. 4 ounces of Signatory Taninic, 10-year-old, 46. And 4 ounces of a Clondeni Craigellachie, 10-year-old, 46. Okay. Whoa. Wow. Well, now this is sure going to be interesting. Again, Donner Pass, man, how cool is this? I'm going to definitely be trying your blend tonight, but I think what we'll also do, let's, is this the first one? Let's do the first one too. Let's do the tomato, or no, I'm sorry. You said which one you thought was the best. It was the number 2. Cadenhead's Deanston 10 Bourbon Hogshead. So this one, we'll do this one first because it's not peated. This one was in there for 2.5 days. So this is a Deanston cast strength 10-year-old that was put into barrels, into the PX barrels by our good friend Donner Pass, or the PX barrel, I should say. And it was in there for, looks like, about 5.5 days. I would love to hear in the chat, has anybody else done anything like this before? It looks like Jeremy at Sipper Social Club, another channel you should definitely check out, Sipper Social Club, was the inspiration for this. So it looks like he said it was in here for 2.5 days in the PX celerity. Okay. So let's get this in. I have never done any of this before. Woo! So for folks who don't know, Pedro Jimenez is of course, a Spanish sherry. It is also a grape. It is one of the few grapes that are actually comprise what you want to call basically the kind of grapes you use for sherry. PX tends to fall on the very much more like sweet, like very sweet side. So sweeter than your Oloroso, sweeter than your Finos, things like that. I'm a big fan of PX. I like a lot of PX finished bottles. In particular, I'm thinking about the Lagavulin 12 Distillers Edition as a classic example. But I have never tried it myself. So very cool. This is the type of experimentation I would love to try. So Donner, this is just really freaking cool, man. Thank you so much for putting this together and for being willing to share it with me. Let me just catch up on the chat here really quick. Are you enjoying the Aaron 18 you spend at your brothers? Yeah, I have not. I've had 1 dram of it since then. I do like it quite a bit. I haven't got back into it for a couple nights. So eventually, maybe later tonight. We'll see. Mahir says, yep, Mumbai. Right on, brother. What whiskey will the Rams make a store pick? I say Maker's Mark Private Select like the Lakers did. Yeah, that makes sense. Juniper Lane says, I like the pretty winter sports. You guys talking Olympics? Cool. I hope folks are enjoying that. Milkman. That would be a try. Edgeador 9. It looks tasty and different. Yeah. We'll get into that, man. Especially Marsala. I love Marsala. Can't believe these Canadians in here. It must be curling time in the Olympics. Listen to Cohen. I heard about it. She claimed she was her grandma's medicine. Oh, we're talking about the Russian. Yeah. I had a bottle of Ardmore and I really liked it, says Mahir. As it was the most affordable single malt available in the store in 30 USD. Also, it's the main malt used in Teachers and is my favorite budget blend. Okay, that's great to know. Ardmore, I'll admit, I don't know a lot about it. I try to keep it real with y'all. I'm not going to pretend I know things I don't. So, yes, very, Mr. Durbick, very cool. So here's Donner Pass. They let the grapes partly dry out, so they are halfway to raisins, and then they crush them to make the sherry taste like liquid raisins. You're talking about Marsala, right? Or are you talking about the PX? I think that's Marsala, right? Maybe I'm wrong. That Ardmore that went into the blend had a nice cigarette ash smoke. Okay. Sweet. Well, how freaking cool is this, you guys? All right, we're doing something real different tonight. So here we are. I poured a hell of a dram of this. So this is the Deanston 10, a cast strength version of Deanston 10. For those of you who have ever had Deanston 12 before, is a really good everyday whiskey, a good starter whiskey. If you are just getting into single malt Scotch and want something accessible and a good budget buy, I would recommend the Deanston Virgin Oak, which is like $30. Really, really cheap. It is a non-age statement, but it's very much worth it. So this is the PX Finished by Donner Pass Whisky Distilleries, LLC. It is 2.5 days in the PX. And here we go. Quick size dram, indeed, man. And this was a fully bourbon matured whiskey prior to Donner Pass working his magic on it. So I'm very excited. Here we go. Oh. Very raisiny. Like you said, I'm not surprised. I'm getting a good amount of that. There's a nice little bit of a almost like apricot too. Fig. Kind of dried, some dried fruit, definitely raisin, definitely wow. Yeah. It's not taking over the full character of the distillate though. I mean, you are getting some of those bourbon notes. There's some vanilla poking through, there's some caramel. This is probably a really nice whiskey to finish this in. Oh man, there's a vanilla extract. Like serious vanilla extract. Wow. Impressive. Well, let's go in neat. Again, Solange, cheers Donner Pass for sharing this, and I'm very eager to get in. There we go. Sweet, rounded. Wow. A bit hot on the back end, as expected, at 56.2% for a 10-year-old whiskey. Oh, that finish, though. The PX on this is a much more, I know you said raisin, and that I want to just keep saying the word raisin. It is very much like almost like those candy raisins. Have anybody ever had those? They used to come in a box. They're almost like gumdrop shaped candy raisins. That's what this tastes like, even more than like your standard raisin, because it's sweeter. The finish is nice, medium length, maybe medium long. Some vanilla. It's got a little bit of that punchy distillery character, a little bit of spice, but man, that PX really works well with this. And again, this is a very, very wow. I'll tell you right now, Donner Pass, the PX on this borders on Marsala for me. I'm just going to open this Ardmore and smell it. Just okay. It's a little bit Marsala like, which I like. It just has a little more depth. It's not as like sickly sweet as I get on some PX before. Huh. I'm going to do another neat sip here. Ooh. The nose on this is divine. And so I don't know if you mentioned this, but just for folks who are watching, so you had your own barrel for this? The sherry was in the barrel for 58 days when I drained it back into the bottles, and it was still very good. What size barrel did you use, or like how much? I mean, I assume it was like a mini cask or something like that. Would be really, really interested to hear. And if you wouldn't mind sharing like what the cost of this was, like to do all of this, I'd be very interested too, because I can imagine that there's a lot of folks who would be interested in doing this. Wow. Man, so this was originally what a first fill or bourbon hogsheads. Okay, it's the second fill probably. Um Interesting choice. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. You wouldn't want to use a first fill. That's just going to be too thick and potent for flavor. Really nice. Man, this is really nice. Let me go for another sip here, neat. Man. That is so good. Great mouthfeel. It's not overly sweet. It has depth. It's really extending a 10-year-old whiskey's like finish for sure. It's definitely got the heat, but you would, I mean, it's 56%, right? I mean, you're not screwing around. You're using cast strength. I'm going to put like 5 drops on this and see what direction this goes in. Wow, man, there's a nice kind of orange marmalade thing going on now, like you would put on toast. This is definitely in the sweet and I almost want to say slightly not savory, but and not delicate either, right? It's bold. It's in the sweet, bold kind of flavor on this. Okay, here we go with a little bit. I put about 5 drops of water to bring this down a little bit in ABV. Ooh. Getting some kind of nuttiness now, like almond. Again, though, that candy, those raisin candy notes are big time on here. Caramel. Almost like a overripe red grape. Wow. That's interesting. Mm. Oh, wow. Big, bold flavor. Those 5 drops killed the heat. A little bit of spice on the back end. Cinnamon. Getting a little bit of chocolate note and a little bit of coffee. That's going really well with that very, again, raisiny. It almost has a texture to it. Like, again, like I keep going back to these raisin candies. If you've ever had those before. This is really impressive, Donner Pass. Really impressive. Man, I got to try this sometime. I saw, yeah, definitely try with some water. I'm glad I got that going. Yeah, seriously. I've never tried this before. Has anybody else tried this before? Milkman's kid said, anyone ever buy a bottle of Oloroso Sherry? Does it taste as it would in Scotch? It's hard to say. I've had like Vino before. I've had some Sherry. I've never bought a whole bottle, so it was like a one-off tasting. I mean, it's much more assertive and cloying and bold. But I do think you can detect hints of what you pick up in the Scotch in it. Alcohol dissolves the syrupy sherry. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. That sounds like a great buy. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's absolutely true. I mean, it spans the gamut, and we talked a little bit about this last night on the show about the age of things. The older the sherries tend to be, or sherry casks tend to be, even for that matter. The more that it breaks down, oxidizes, gets drier, more spicy. Geez, the nose on this is so good. It's very sweet. It's not hyper complex, but it's very, very sweet. I mean, what do you expect out of a Deanston 10? But the water has done this wonders. Extended the development. This is so rich. This almost reminds me of like a Glengaddy 12-year-old. I know that's not PX, but it kind of is in that same wheelhouse in terms of its very dessert nature. Wow. Donner Pass, man. Thank you, sir. This is super cool. I never expected to have the opportunity to try something like this. This is amazing. Oh, we had a little bit of a troll in here. Is that what that was? Oh, yeah. Okay. I'll grab that. I've done a bunch of experimenting with the 1 liter barrel too. It's interesting, and sometimes you even get good stuff out the back end. Yeah, it seems like it. Donner Pass says, got the barrel from the place Jeremy recommended in his video. I think it was $40 or $50. Okay, so that's not bad. And is it American oak or is it like European oak? Obviously, it's not seasoned like you seasoned it yourself, or you turned it into a sherry barrel yourself, basically, right? I'm assuming it's just like American oak. Man, this sounds fun. Very, very cool. Cohen, Donner Pass, did you do the KNL Lotto? He said yes. Donner Pass did not get the invite last year. It came up 0. Very cool. Just 1 second here, y'all. I gotta fix my mouse. It's acting up a little bit. Just a second. I think I need to have this thing plugged in like that anymore. Maybe not. Okay, let me see. Okay, I think we're back in action. Okay. Yeah, so I can tell you right off the bat, this is fantastic. And you used it sounds like you used a really nice quality aged PX. I mean, you didn't fuck around. What did that cost? I mean, did you mention how much that cost you on you? $28 for a half mil bottle, 375 mil. 2.5 bottles needed to fill the barrel. Okay. And you knew how to leave it in there. Wow. Okay. That's awesome. Well, I can tell you right now, to be the first whiskey reviewer on planet Earth to drop a whiskey score on something from Donner Pass Distilleries. It's not distilleries, right? You're like barrel. You're Donner Pass whiskey. Donner Pass whiskey's whiskey. Dude, I'll tell you right now. So a bottle of Deanston 10 cast strength, what are we looking at? About like probably $70. This is a cast strength signatory type thing. Maturation, $100-some bottle. Yeah. 4 out of 5. Yeah, Donner Pass says, Cohen, what did you do with the PX when you drained it? And Milkman's out. Hey, cheers, buddy. Great to see you. Thanks for swinging in. Thanks for hanging out last night too, man. Have a good rest of your week. Yeah, curious about this. Donner Pass Bottler Inc. Thank you, Cohen. I can envision the label now. You're going to have some type. Your first bottling is going to be something of like an homage to the Donner Party, right? It's going to be called like we could go all sorts of directions on that, but yeah. Some homage to the Donner Party, right? Like a whiskey in tribute or something like that. With the finest Sierra Mountain barley. You cut the wood down from actual Donner Pass to construct the barrel, and so on and so forth. Oh, okay. Good Taste Whiskey Company. There we go. Oh, for sure. We wouldn't want to have the actual Donner Party on it. For those who don't know, the Donner Party was a covered wagon explorers, settlers, colonizers, whatever you want to call it, that went through the mountains and had to resort to cannibalism to survive because they got snowbound. So, I mean, you could go that route. You could do a cannibalism route, but we can. We'll stick to the positives, right? Oh no. Coats. Too good, man. Too good. A bit more charring doesn't hurt. Oh no. Okay. Oh Jesus. Yeah. Pour yourself 2 fingers, right? Okay. Moving on. This is delicious, man. I'm actually getting a really nice kind of fresh roasted almond thing going on, which I only know because I do like to cook with almonds periodically and toast them up a little bit. So you're getting a nice toasted almond thing going on. I mean, the important part about any whiskey that comes from Donner Pass bottles is that you really chew on it. Like, you want to make sure you get all That's fantastic. Wow. Okay. See you, man. This is great. Oh boy. Well, there you go. Oh no. we're just going straight Cannibal Corpse with this. Okay. Yeah. Right. It could be like a store pick, right? The store pick would Cannibal Corpse death metal album covers. Yeah, well done, man. This is really interesting stuff. It makes total sense, and I think you went the right route with this. Using something that has a nice kind of like subtle bourbon cast, something that another whiskey coming to mind that I think might be interesting for this would be like a Brook Lottie Classic Lottie, right? They're very spirit forward. I shouldn't say spirit. They're very distillery character forward, right? Like, that could be a really interesting. Now, maybe not with a PX, but like, imagine, those Brook Lotties tend to have that kind of farm quality, that kind of sweet, fresh cut, whatever. Imagine taking that, with something darker like a Malbec, or even a Oloroso for that matter. That could be really fascinating. Or you even get into the more funky stuff with like a Manzanilla or something. Sounds like a lot of fun. Anyways, Solange, buddy. Appreciate you, man. This is really cool. PX is one of my favorite of the sherry finishes that you get on scotches. I'm really, really impressed with this. This is better than I would have expected. Good stuff, Donner. Cheers, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Codes, yeah, the possibilities are pretty vast. My last run was with Madeira. Okay. Yeah, that sounds really, really good. Wow. I'm really impressed with this Donner Pass, man. Damn. Okay. Before we get into your blend, I think I'm going to do another one of the ones. I think I'm going to check out Tomatin. Okay, you know which one I'm going to go for probably here. We're going to do the old particular Kalila 8. So this was in Donner Pass's PX barrel for, let me just make sure I'm right. So bottle 4 was around 5 days. So this was a old particular Kalila 8, 58.7%, and then was in his 1 liter PX barrel for about 5 days. So this was the last in the run, is what I'm gathering from this Donner Pass. So we're going to see something maybe with a bit more subtlety when it comes to the. Okay, I just saw post. One thing you really want to pay attention to is the first bottle in the barrel to finish can get overdone quick. 24 hours can be all you need after the time it gets longer. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so that's why, I mean, you only did 5 days on this one. So this is a 5-day matured PX in a 1 liter. I'm sorry. This is a 8-year-old Kalila at cast strength that sat in Donner Pass Bottlers LLC. As Cohen said, Cannibal Corpse, Donner Party bottlings, Northern California. This sat in his PX, and just so folks have a reminder, so the PX that he used was a 1927 Solera PX sherry. So the barrel sat in that for about 58 days, and this sat in here for 5 days. Okay. So here we go. This is Kalila with Donner Pass's maturation of PX on it. The Deanston 10 was fantastic. Very interested to see this. A little bit less on the PX probably, clearly, given it was about 5 days. Let's see what we're working with. Okay, so immediately that's noticeable. There's this is a very assertive, citrusy, fresh Kalila peat smoke. A whole lot of it. There's a real nice sweetness to this. Not nearly as raisiny, candy raisin as the Deanston 10 Old Particular was. Wow. I do feel like the PX I'm picking it up here, but it is much more subtle, Donner. It's more rounding the edges of what I would assume was a relatively aggressive whiskey. Oh, shit. Oh, damn. This thing just shot whiskey into my eye. Ooh. 1 second. That did not feel good. You ever put Castring Kalila in your eyes? Don't recommend it. Okay, moving on. I am picking it up, though. I still am getting the PX, man. Okay, here we go. So this is the one you said was your favorite next to the number 2, which is what we tried. So here we go. PX matured by Donner Pass in a 1927 Solera PX barrel that he seasoned himself. Or 1927 was the year they started Solera, I think, and rotate the stuff every few years. Yeah, totally. Hey, Old Humble's in the house. What's up? Cheers to you, sir. Okay, let me just get rid of our good friend. It looks like we got another The Russians, man, I'm telling you, don't they? Aren't they supposed to be trying to take over Ukraine? Why are they messing with us? Let's get him out of here. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Oh, man. Oh, that's good. Boy, that PX really brings a creaminess to this whiskey. You still have the ashy peat on the back end. It's there, but you're getting some nice fruit notes. The raisin kind of thing that you were mentioning is coming through a bit more here on the back end. I'm assuming this was ex-bourbon. Let me double check. I'm assuming this was Old Particular Kalila. Oh, it was PX. Is that right? Okay. I mean, it's drinking like an older whiskey, which is what you should expect, given that you added the extra maturation, and it really is rounding this off really nice. Man, I'm not sure if I like this more than the Deanston. I know you said the Deanston that you did was your second favorite, but I'm right there with you. The nose on this is fantastic, man. I mean, this smells like you're drinking a. First of all, it smells as if it is a older whiskey than 8 years. Okay, so this is refill bourbon hogshead. Thank you. That makes sense. So it's just like the Deanston, you're looking at a refill bourbon whiskey that you put in your sherry cask. A lot of vanilla on this. Very characteristic of these like heavy cask strength Kalilas. Wow. Fantastic nose, man. Fantastic nose. And Jonathan, did you fully clean it later or after you were done aging in it? That's an interesting question. I realize I've missed a couple of people, so I do want to just jump back up here for 1 second. Top D's in the house. Yeah, here I am again. I didn't get kicked out of my apartment for the cigar, so, I thought I'd come back to it. Mahir's got to head out. Deuces, man. Take good care. Our good friend over in Mumbai. Great to see you, Los Angeles, City of Angels, James Chang, Whiskey. Hey, there you go. Hump day indeed, brother. Good to see you. Another shout out to Old Humble Distilling Company, man. Cheers to you. Thank you for swinging in, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, here we are. We're at it. For those who are just joining, I have unboxed a box of samples from a good friend of the show and Patreon supporter, Donner Pass Whisky. He took part in some experimenting of his own with some whiskeys. Let me just give you guys the rundown real quick. The TLDR is he bought a 1 liter barrel and for 58 days put a 1927 Solera PX sherry in it. He drained that out and periodically aged a couple of cask strength whiskeys in it. We're talking all with a Deanston 10 Old Particular cask strength, Cadenhead's Tomatin 12 or Tomatin 10, his own personal blend, and the one we're doing right now, a Kalila. The Deanston was a Caden's Head. This is a Kalila 8 Old Particular, all cask strength. Looks like they're all kind of refill bourbon. They all spent different amounts of time in his PX cask, and we are tasting them right now. The Deanston 10, which was in there for 2.5 days, was freaking fantastic. We are now looking at a Kalila 8-year-old, which was in there for upwards of 5 days or so. And it's again really, really good. Just so people know, he was inspired by this by Jeremy at Sipper Social Club, which is another whiskey channel you can go check out. He's a Canadian, good dude. He did some of this himself, and I think he said these 1 liter bottles are on $40-$50, and then you kind of put whatever whiskey or I'm sorry, whatever sherry you want in it. get that thing nice and seasoned up, and then you can do this yourself. Put some whiskey in it, and see what it does to some of your whiskeys. And I think the recommendation was that you look at things that are not first fill. So you want to look at like second fill or refill ex bourbon cask kind of stuff. If you're going to go to the sherry route, seems like he's got it going on here. And Donner Pass has had a lot of fun doing this. I can tell. Both of the whiskeys we've tried so far here are really fantastic. Man, it just elevates the quality of this. It really does. I like the old particular stuff from what I've had. Let's try a little bit of water on it. But this Kalila 8 is drinking like a Kalila, 14, 12. Old Humble's out. Take good care. Be well. Winston's sleeping, man. Thank God. He's a bit of a terror today. He's a kitten. He's like a year and a half, so my days are filled with some terror. All right. I have not even heard of him, but we'll check it out. Oh, so we're back to what did you do with the barrel afterwards? Several hot water washes, then let it dry. Not sure if I can use it again. We need to fill with hot water to see if it will still seal. Getting it to stop leaking is the first thing to do. Been a sub for 3 months. They're good, says Coates. Okay. Yeah, you can absolutely use it again. I've run like 4 wine soaks and 10 whiskeys through mine, and it's still hanging on. Wow. Okay, so these are pretty versatile. Just 24-hour water soak to swell it back up is all I do. Okay. Well, hey, you guys are inspiring me, man, because this is – I've never had anything in these before, but I'm really freaking impressed. I mean, if you really want to get a first fill, just pound some nice good sherry into this, man. So here's this Kalila with water. I'm with you on this, Donner Pass. This Kalila is awesome. I'm actually going to go a little bit more water. I just want to see if I can tone down. I mean, obviously it's an 8-year-old Kalila. It's pretty young. I'm going to put, so we're at 10 drops of water now on this. Just want to see where this will go. Oh, still that fresh peat. Yeah, man. Sounds fun. I'm into it. I'm into this. This seems like a lot of fun. Let me know in the chat. What do you guys think would be some good combinations? So, to Donner Pass's point earlier, excuse me, the idea of using a second fill or ex-bourbon or refill bourbon as a way to really kind of showcase the sherry that you're using makes a lot of sense. I'm thinking about some stuff here about like what would be a lot of fun to try. And so the first thing that's coming to mind for me is something like a imagine taking like a Malbec with a peated whiskey or something like that. So you're looking kind of like the long row Malbec kind of way to go. I'm thinking of some of the more like, again, the funkier ones that kind of that yeasty matchers, like a manzanilla. So you got that almondy manzanilla. So I'm thinking about a whiskey that could really work with probably something. I mean, imagine that with like a Craigellachie 13 or something. a whiskey that's very kind of aggressive and foosty, rounding those edges a little bit with like a manzanilla cask. And that could be fun. The possibilities, y'all. The possibilities. Oh, word. Yeah, for real. For real. Truth, man. Yeah, Amontillado or different. Yeah, yeah. Oh, sweet. You did the Craig. You thought Craig Elke 13 too. You did it with a tawny port. It was one of the better results. I could see that, right? You wouldn't want to do anything that's too juicy and sweet because I mean, like a port, like a ruby port, would really overpower that characteristic of the Craig Elke, which is again very foosty. It's a little bit on the dry side. Yeah, man. I hear what you're saying. That makes sense. Tawny port, yeah. I think if you're going to use heavier things, I mean, like when we're talking about like Malbec or like a fucking Merlot, like what would you do with a Merlot? You'd have to do a Lefroy 10, right? Lefroy 10 Merlot cask finish or something. You'd have to find something that's like bold and assertive in a different direction. If you're going to use subtler sherries or wines for that matter, you want to match it with something subtle. And you kind of want it to contrast a little bit, but not too much, right? So like the manzanilla would round out the edges of a Craig Elke a little bit, maybe bring out a bit more. I don't know. That's interesting. Fino seems funny. Says, yeah, they recommend going cast strength with the solvent power, so it has the solvent power to extract flavors. Right. So like in a short maturation period like that, right? Like you're not leaving it in your barrel for like 3 months or something like that. That makes sense. Econ, I remember you mentioned in the previous video the higher age Foursquare rums as sherry cask will be available. What is it and where is it available? Interesting. So there is a new Foursquare out called the Indelible. I don't know if it's higher proof. It's 40. I have a bottle. It's 40%. It's good, but it's not the cast strength stuff. Code says, yeah, subtle and subtle. I did one round with white port and then got swallowed up by big whiskey. Had good results with Weller CR on that one. Oh, yeah. I mean, anything you can do to elevate Weller CR or SR would be a good thing, right? That's a great idea. I've I don't know if you call it coming to the show late, or maybe just having a healthy skepticism, but I have not historically been a big fan of these attempts at sherry finishing bourbons, mostly because it's sweet on sweet in a lot of ways, in ways that just I've not been impressed with. However, the Rabbit Hole Derringer PX finished has done a lot to change my mind about that. And so I've been a little bit more interested. So bourbon could be fun too, right? I mean, or rye for that matter. I mean, you want to get real funky, you could do rye. Wow, Donner Pass, and you're making the creativity just flow here. Not the Indelible though. I do want to get. It's good. Yeah, I'm sure that's the case. The 2009, vintage is out too. It's all ex-bourbon and still just 12 years. I don't think it's better than the 2008, but it's good. Oh yeah. Rittenhouse, right? That's a whiskey that's primed for a nice finish because I mean it's good, but it's young. That's super cool. Okay, y'all, give me just a second. I'll be right back. Okay. So I would be, I just have to try Donner Pass's blend here. So we're going to go on to another one of these. Again, this is a unboxing of some whiskeys that Donner Pass sent. These are whiskeys, all cast strength or near cast strength, younger second fill bourbon whiskeys that he put into his own 1 liter barrel that he seasoned with, or that he matured with Pedro Jimenez sherry. And we are tasting the results. And so far they have been really incredible. This has been a lot of fun. I am going to try Donner Pass's special blend here. And so just so folks know what's in this, this is Kilkerran 8 cast strength peated. It is Ardmore 10, 58.9% peated from Old Particular. It is Old Particular Fettercairn 14 years old, 56.9%. Old Particular Balmachin 11-year-old, 59.3%. Signatory Taninic 10-year-old, 46%. I can totally know why you put that in there. Balance it out a bit. And Clondeni Craigellachie 10-year-old, 46%. So we got a whole bunch of different stuff happening in this particular blend coming from Northern California. Our good friend Donner Pass. Let's give it a try. The rest of these I will be definitely adding to the sample rotation for tastings on Tasty Tuesday shows. So if you are not subscribed yet, smash that subscription button. Hit that like button, by the way, if you've yet to. We'll appreciate that. It all goes a long way. Every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, I do a bottle profile. We talk about a whiskey, and then usually I will taste the sample. My goal nowadays is going to be to have the second dram of every Tasty Tuesday be a sample that I have been sent by some of the generous folks here in the whiskey community, including what we're doing tonight from Donner Pass. So I'll have 2 others to try on that thing. So I'm looking forward to it. But again, here we go. This is Donner Pass Whiskey's Magic Blend. And just so folks know, this spent a couple days, 3 to 4 days in his PX 1 liter bottle that he put together himself. So he's got a whole bunch of stuff in here. Here we go. Oh boy. Whoa. Honey. Like honeycomb, like raw honey. A little bit of peat, a little bit of smoke, more like minty, fresh smoke. Almond. Again, very Marsala-like. Again, this PX that you got is really Marsala-like. It's fantastic. Wow. Vanilla, yes. Caramel, yes. Light brown sugar, absolutely. There's even a little hint of lemon or lime, or on the lime, salty lime. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There's even a slight tequila. It's like a tequila note to this. I don't know why, but it's coming through. Just a little bit, like agave, just like a raw elemental note. Wow. There's a slight mustiness to this too. Okay. So once again, I'm not going to go through the ABVs, but just so you guys know what's in here. Kilkerran, Ardmore, Fettercairn, Balmachin, Taninic, and Craigellachie. It's probably where we're getting that little slight musty foostiness from that Craigellachie. Maybe the Kilkerran too. Anyway, here we go. Donner Pass Whiskey Blend. Oh, wow. A lot happening here. Stone fruit. A lot of spice, chili pepper, vanillas, caramel, raisin. Slightly earthy. Ooh, the finish on this is awesome. It almost has there's like a dark fruit and a like sweet light fruit note, almost like a lollipop combined with like a dried fig or like a candy raisin. A little bit of peat smoke, slightly minty, fresh, like wintergreen or more spearmint. That sweeter mint. Oh, I dig it, man. It is not amateur hour over at the Donner Pass Whiskey compound. Again, just so folks know, I mean, these 1 liter barrels that he bought, he said it was around 40, $50. You buy yourself whatever type of wine or whiskey, or I'm sorry, wine or sherry you want to put in it. Soak that bad boy up. He did 58 days with this PX. I mean, I'm sure you can kind of vary that how you want. And then age your stuff in it. This is about 5 days in there. The PX is still there. That, I mean, it's omnipresent on it. Like I'm tasting the thread of the PX through these. Obviously, the Deanston, the first one that you did, much more of a PX on this. The Kalila, it was subtle, but it brought an extra roundedness, creaminess to an otherwise very young, sprightly Kalila, which was good on its own merits. This, again, it's there. I'm tasting it. There's a lot happening in here, a lot to pull apart, but I'll say, generally speaking, this is a very nicely balanced blend that you made here. I'm assuming you put the Unique 10 in there for a reason to kind of something a little more neutral, chill that out a little bit. It's working really well. This might be the one where I'm noticing the PX more than I would have expected, given the hodgepodge of stuff that you threw in here. I don't know if it's taking anything away from. I mean, it's hard with all these whiskeys that you have in here. It's hard. I mean, this is a tough blend, but boy, very enjoyable. It is skewing on the sweet side and the spice and the spicy side. Not delicate. None of these are delicate. Put a little more water on this. Well, it's 6 drops this time. Tone that bad boy down. Boy, it has hints of manzanilla because it's like the funk and the kind of almondy pastry note. This tastes so much like a pastry with some vanilla frosting and some shaved almonds on top. Very cool. Donner Pass has to head out. Yeah, take good care, man. Again, thank you so much for sending these samples. This is a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying this. How cool. Have a good night at work, brother. Take good care. Okay. I mean, what can I say? The man knows what he's up to. And he's put together some really tough. This one is the most Oloroso tasting. This has the most darker fruits, more drying red fruits in it, which is interesting. But again, there's so many whiskeys blended in here. It's really hard to pick them apart. But it works. It works. It definitely works. Very cool. All right, y'all. I went real long last night, so I got to keep it somewhat on manner mode this evening. I want to enjoy the rest of this dram and probably sign off here. But I do want to just, before I do, again, thank Donner Pass Whisky for sending this box. Or making this box find its way here. A lot of fun. I'm looking forward to trying the rest of it. A shout out to Juniper Lane for the super chat. I appreciate you immensely. Thank you so very much. It goes a long way to keeping this going. On Friday, Glenn Farkless, 21-year-old, 54.2% ABV Whiskey Exchange exclusive will be the review that will drop. If you are a Patreon supporter, check your inbox. It's already there. If you're not, and you want to be, of course, patreon.com/maltmuserwhiskey. You get early releases of my reviews. You get into sample raffles. I got some other things I'm working on to make it worth your while. Otherwise, that will drop Friday. Again, appreciate you all, no matter what way you support. Smash that thumbs up on your way out. And if you haven't subscribed, I would love to have you join the whiskey community here. As I always say, I learn more from you than you probably will from me, but that's what makes this so much fun. And with that, I'm going to drink the rest of this dram and bid you all a good evening. I will be live again next Tuesday for another Tasty Tuesday happy hour where we'll be checking off the brand new Amroot Spectrum. It should be a lot of fun. So with that, everybody have a good rest of your week. Stay safe, be well. I will catch you all next Tasty Tuesday, man. Much love.